since it was, hold on, it's requested that I do a video of my gears. I'm not exactly sure why they requested that, but it was a request, so I'm answering it. Yeah, hold on, let me balance some of this stuff out. Can't remember where I put some gear that wasn't meant to go certain places. There we go. Alright, so somebody said they were curious at looking at my gear, so here goes. Yeah, those mount and all that. Deco, BSS, Ferrofun Rare. Yep, Gevra, Twilight Gauntlets, boots, plus 10 transes. None of them have really any special sockets. Just some normal Gold Eagle 3s for the Jupiter, L Jupiter. Got quite a few of these, sort of last song. Plus 10 Twilight heavy armors. I got very similar of these for each melee merc that I have in my form. A few of the plus 10 helmets. Yeah, so very Vite heavy for a duel, since his Vite bonus to attack power comes from his Jupiter sword, so it helps out a lot. Same thing for the clown. I'm also very Vite heavy with the clown. So I go with the alternates with the Delarte, a Jupiter main, same as the main. Her attack power is that much because of, well, how concentrated I guess she is on her Vite and her damage and just everything. Let's see, Jupiter accessories, Reiterin plus 10 heavy armor. Would be nice if I could get the set, but it's too expensive. I got plus 10 assure for almost every merc, except my range ones. I usually just put awakened on them, or I just have awakened on them. Let's see, for Arthur I use Vivian earrings for magic bonus damage. Again, assure plus 10s because the Reiterin can't be Atlas, so I just gave up on that. Dynasty Shield just because of why the heck not. Sort of last song again. A lot of my tanks will have SOLS only because of more Vite equals more tanky. So him, this guy, and this guy, so all of them. And then also the higher attack power means for the higher damage from his the Warlord's Demoralize, and yeah, so on. I'll continue him later. So Arthur, his skills, he has Dark Legacy, which does quite a bit of damage. Okay, also, which is dependent upon attack power, and I think it's also based on strength. I can't remember exactly, but it's a combination of the two, I think. And of course, skill level and upgrades. Upgrades determine damage as well. Let's see, same exact type of Twilight Heavy Armor. I might as well just go ahead and tell you. I mean, they're all pretty much the same. The Twilight Heavy Armors. They're all kind of the same build. All Vite build. Very tanky. Very yeah. There's only one merc that I have that is not that's melee that is not Vite build, is because he is strength concentrated. So I tried that with one merc, was concentrating on strength, and it didn't work out as well. Found that concentrating on Vite is actually a little bit more beneficial. So as far as just staying alive longer and really hard dungeons and whatnot. So. And it helps out for auto battle grinding and all that. So yeah. Alright, so back to Arthur. Just some magic bonus for his accessories. So +4 and +3. All my mercs have Reiterin necklaces, +4 and 5s. The ones that do more damage have +5s. With the ignore defense on the first physical attack. Let's see. Of course, yeah, Dynasty Shield, less critical damage from attacks. It helps out in PvP, mostly, mostly a PvP shield, but it's also good for things like Infinity to challenge, so the mobs don't do as much fucking damage. Again, he's very heavy on magic level, so I put a lot of his armor has magic sockets, or magic level sockets that are included with fight, of course. That's another reason why I went with fight, is because so he can have more magic level, so he can do more damage with Dark Legacy. Or else I wouldn't have done that. Let's see. I would have better earrings, but again, I mean, he gets magic damage from the earrings, and earrings aren't really that strong as far as stats go, so I prefer at least a little bit of magic damage bonus. So he gets plus 20 from that. I could have Reader and Evil Rings, but again, Assure is just in the end more beneficial because it raises up his strength, which in the end, and raises up his attack power, which in the end also equals more damage from Dark Legacy or his AoE. So there's no point in really trying to get a high plus Reader in when they just can't be Atlas, so they're just not worth it. Another Sword of Life song, plus 10 Twilight Shield, yeah, tanky. Plus 10, yep. Plus 6 bracelets from the last events that they've done for the Elizabeth stuff. Just random earrings. Again, more Assures. Let's see, more Star Stones. This one actually should be on this guy. Well, yeah, it should be on Arthur, because his AoE will probably do more damage. I don't know. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. Let's see. Did it lag? I think it did lag. Yeah, it lagged. Okay. Let's see. Technically, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Gets intelligence from that, yeah. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so intelligence doesn't. I mean, it affects melee a little bit. It gives them bonus defense and all that stuff. But as far as like their skills, it only slightly affects them. So depends on what it is, really. But for the most part, it's a lot of warriors, a lot of melee warriors, a lot of melee mercs are focused on strength. So you want to raise their strength as much as possible and their attack power to get better AoE damage, or better magic damage, better damage overall for them. Of course, I went into Vite again because of the difference that Vite is. Vite for a normal Twilight plus 10 is like 2600. So in the end, Vite would be more beneficial depending on the merc. So let's see. The Prophet, she is heavy on buffing, well, good at buffing melee mercs. So she gives them the concentrate, gives them the accuracy, and a bunch of other like attack power, more attack power than most of the other passive buffs like Odie. Well, Odie gives. I don't think Odie gives any attack power. Yeah, he doesn't give any attack power, but he gives other stuff, defense and health. And she also heals, so she gives health, she gives attack power, and then she gives accuracy. Well, this guy gives a little bit of health, a little bit of attack power, and I think that's it. So his passive is actually less effective than her passive, which is caught me off. Kind of surprised me, I suppose. Alright, let's see. Yeah, of course I have the plus 5 Reader and Ring. It's kind of hard for me to figure out where to put this thing, because, I mean, it's pretty nice. I could put it on the clown, and she would do a lot more damage, but, for right now, it's, um, I'm not really fighting a boss at the moment, so there's not really a purpose. Did I just separate portal? No, I lagged, okay. I lagged. So, yeah, again, yeah, she's, I mean, I could put it on any mark, it doesn't really matter, but the purpose of the ring is to buff my clown's damage in boss fights, so heavy boss fights. That's the reason why I moved it to the clown during the Infinity Challenge. Let's see, I also use this ring for when I'm in nation dungeons and killing the flying gates, so I guess the profit is it does a little bit of decent damage as long as she has the right accessory on, so she'll be able to do her defense ignore. Alrighty. Let's see. Alright, so yeah, I got this randomly as like a, I think it was like a cheap. One day I found a deal on the market, and it was like, this was like 30 bill or something like that, and I was like, hey, why not? So I bought it, and that was like almost a year ago. So I just took it, and ever since I've just held on to it. I mean, it's an alright accessory. It's supposed to be more for PvP, so. Let's see. Yeah, haven't really socketed the Twilight Light Armor yet. I will focus on Dexterity though, because the Vitality is not as much. So most of my range marks I focus on. Yeah, I focus on Dexterity. So like here, this guy, the Patriot, he is all Dex based. He has 14k Dex, and he is just decked out and so much Dex. I guess he should technically have it. Oh, whatever. It's all the Vite thing that's keeping him from. I'll just keep it on the Patriot. Technically, he should have it because he does the most physical damage. So yeah, it's more beneficial for him to have it. Let's see. Did I just lag again? I think I just lagged. Yeah, I just lagged again. All right, so yeah, he's all Dex based. Got Dex plus 200, Dex plus 215 per, Dex plus 216. And then these I haven't socketed yet because I'm waiting on getting a 3-socket for this one, which I think I'll go. It's kind of tough to figure out what I'll go with that one, but I think I'll go all Vite on that one. And then this one will be. I don't think I'll do anything with that. I think that one's just gonna. I'll just socket it with some cheap Vite or Dex. Yeah, okay, I went Dex into this one too because it has a little bit of Dex. Some of these are just not worth it going into Dex, so I go Vite with them. Vite plus 20, Vite plus 20. Let's see, just to give him a little bit of extra health, because range do tend to die fairly easily, so a little bit extra Vite can go a long way. But again, he's a very heavy damager as far as gear, the way I've geared him, so I did want him to give him a shit ton of Dex, and that was the intention. I also went Dex with this, also went Dex with this. As you can tell, there's more Vite in those rings, but I wanted more Dex so he could do more damage, and the Holy Rings are pretty badass anyways. Let's see, I got another Holy Ring right there, so. Let's see, yeah. Okay, so I'll continue on to him later. Not right now, though. Yeah. Yeah, just a bit. I'm trying to remember what I did with this one. Okay. Oh, yeah, that was another kind of random find that I just held on to. I haven't decided to just sell it, so I just held on to it and kept it. And same thing with this bracelet. Kind of just kept it. A lot of this stuff I just end up just holding on to and using. So yeah, stuff like that. Not that I really want to keep them, it's just nobody buys them, so nobody would buy them for a decent amount, so I just keep them. Another reason I didn't go Grim Orb for one purpose, and it was also to increase his magic damage, or increase his damage from his skills, because magic damage is not technically right. I mean, it's okay. It's complicated. Again, melee mercs, they are stronger by their base attack power. Well, depends on the skill, and their strength again depends on the skill. But for the most part, the melee mercs that are, I guess, have been upgraded, they're based on attack power. They're based on percentage. So the warlord, if you go to his skills, he is based on he's based on pretty much. I think it's his. I think this one is his HP. I'm not really sure. I think this one is actually his total vite. So his total vite will determine the enemy's HP reduction. I'm not exactly sure if that's correct or not, but it's either that or it's his total attack power or his total strength. Either way, I buffed. My intention was to buff all of the above. So I did that with his fight. I did that with his attack power. I gave a little bit of attack power with Fox 4s, extra maximum damage, some attack power with the orb. Tough Ruler Orb has strength and vitality instead of intelligence. Intelligence is quite useless for a melee. I mean, the only thing that intelligence is useful for is people think that it helps with their magic damage. It depends again, because a lot of the new upgraded, not really new, but upgraded mercs, they don't depend on intelligence. They depend on their attack power and their level and all. Yeah, so. And not saying that before their stuff was dependent on intelligence. I mean, I don't have the actual proof on a lot of the stuff, but from what I've gathered, buffing up what's more melee focused rather than trying to focus on intelligence, it doesn't work out. The only merc right now that I have that I think that actually benefits from having more intelligence is the clown, because the more magic she has, the more magic points, the more damage she does with her Fatal Flourish. So that's the only reason why they would be any better. Like if I, let's see, buff up on my attack power and all that, blah blah blah, her skill, her Masquerade skill, I think actually buffs because of her max attack power, or like, or her, the more strength she has and all that, blah blah blah. So it's really dependent on what skill you're using and what strategy you go with. But a lot of the time, intelligence does not mean a damn thing for melee. The only thing it means is they are able to resist magic more often, and the magic is, I would think, more staff magic based. I think the resistance versus like melee magic is actually strength, but I'm not exactly sure on that. Let's see. So, let's see. Range is weak to both magic and melee, so they can get hurt by both fairly roughly. So they're just pretty much all glass cannons. Well, that's what the intention is. Not for all not for all range, but that is pretty much what they are. Is meant to be a lot of damage, lack of defense, lack of magic defense. I mean, not a total lack of defense. They do have defense, just not as much as, they tend to be about half as much as a melee. So, as you can see. Let's see. Yeah, I got plus 10 Twilight Bow. And some decent sockets for it. Kind of like the same sockets I have for this Jupiter Sword. Yeah, same exact sockets. And then this one also has the same sockets. Jupiter's Lance. Let's see. Another random item I just kind of held on to. Lots of random items I just held on to. Washington's blunderbuss. I ended up getting 2 of those. Um, Again, Patriot's very dex based, so well, I went attack power this time for this thing because he doesn't really get that much dex from his rifle. But again, dex based because of boom, increase attack power by 24% dex. Boom, like that right there. That's one of the main reasons why I do that. Eventually, I think I will do the same thing with Xiaoxian. I think I will also go very heavy dex focused. It won't be as beneficial for Xiaoxian because the Patriot gets a shit ton of dexterity with his Furious gear. So I'll have to like go like Twilight and get +10 boots, +10 gloves of Twilight, and then I'll have to probably send this over to her in order to get her to do a little bit more damage. But again, the Prophet could also kind of get buffed up too. I mean, not the same way. Been thinking about going bow main, but I'm kind of sketchy about that one. Let's see. Okay, so Jaeon. This is the one merc that I went very heavily strength based and very heavily on attack power. So I buffed him with as much strength, all strength, attack power, damage, maximum damage, strength. It's actually more beneficial to put strength stones or dex stones in these things. So, oh yeah, that might be the reason why the Patriot's not supposed to use that because it's a strength-based strength-based reader and necklace. Which one did I make that was not strength-based? I guess it wasn't any of these. Well then, that makes a problem, I guess. So yeah, putting sockets makes things a little less adjustable. So again, I gave him more strength so he could do a little bit more AoE damage. And then this would actually be over here with Arthur, so he can do a little bit more AoE damage. Or not AoE damage, but I meant, well, yeah. AoE damage for this guy, more magic damage, or more skill damage with this guy. A lot of strength stuff, a lot of fight stuff, a lot of tank, yeah, half tanky, half high skill damage. So, and then again, half tanky, half high skill damage. And this guy's just pure tank. So, just pure meat shield right here, and then he has some useful. He has a Thea's protection, which is a decent passive buff. Not the best. I think honestly, believe Odie should get a buff as far as the mercs are concerned, and Prophet should get a buff, but probably won't happen anytime soon. Let's see. So yeah, you get Shield Bash, Weapon Rend. Weapon Rend's nice for just buffing sword skills. So it does help a little bit. Shield Bash is more reduces the enemy's defense, I think, by half, but I'm not exactly sure. Maybe not necessarily half. I think it reduces enemy's defense by about 7. Let me double check this before I sound like a dumbass. Decius Shield Bash by 6k, okay. And then Kun Fan reduces defense by also about 6k. Demoralize, or Kun Fan, yeah. Kun Fan, whatever. Um, Demoralize is fucking OP as hell. Like, this isn't really Demoralize maxed out. Like, this guy can go, I think, 110 with Demoralize, and his additional magic is high enough to surpass that, so he reduces the enemy's stats by a lot more than this. And again, this stuff is, I want to say, more strength and attack power based. So the more attack power, more strength, maybe Vite, just more everything that the Warlord has will buff this shit up, and of course his magic level will buff this up, and then upgrades. He's all the way upgraded. Again, another little bit of buffs. Yeah, 110. I knew it was 110. And then same thing for this 110. So let's see. Magic, Darking Arthur again. Yep, yep. I believe it's strength or Vite or something based, attack power based. Probably attack power based, because if I remember correctly, the main waltz is attack power based. So maybe it is all attack power based, and I'm just going crazy. The 52% I think is actually dependent on the skill level and magic bonus level. So, which is the reason why would be the reason why Dark Legacy is only 60%, which 60% is high as fuck. I mean, this is level 40 waltz, halfway leveled up in 52.2. It's probably with the magic bonus and all that. And it, what's the max? What's the max? Yeah, 110. So I guess it's probably around 100%. Let's see. Ow. Um, hmm. Back to I'll help the guy out later, or not later, but here in a minute. I'll be over with this soon. Let's see. So again, so yeah, this is all I think attack. I'm more certain that it's all attack power based. Sometimes I get sketchy with how things work. I mean, originally I thought it was attack power. At some point I thought it was intelligence, but it seems the most concrete evidence is attack power. So the more attack power you have, the more strength, probably more strength based, the more damage you do. So, and I'm pretty sure that Odysseus's stuff doesn't change. It's pretty stagnant. This stuff is not buffed up. This stuff's not buffed up. It does the same exact thing it tells you. Cassandra, I'm pretty sure, is not buffed up, so it does the same exact thing it tells you. It's not buffed to the mercenaries, what it is, because Warlord's been buffed, Cassandra hasn't, Odysseus hasn't. He came out buffed. Harlequin I don't think has been buffed, but I could be wrong. I mean, the Fatal Flourish does pretty well once you have enough magic level, but again, that Fatal Flourish is also percentage based, so that might have been kind of where they got the idea, was mercs like this. And then Masquerade, I feel like it does a lot more than that. That could also be magic bonus based, so that could be the reason why I get that much attack power. And then I get a shit ton of critical from whenever she does that. Of course, she gets less defense though. That's the downside of her skill, which is not really a downside. I mean, a little bit less defense is not that big of a deal. And then his stuff is pretty the same too as well. So yeah, his is exactly negative 63 action power, and probably the HP, the proc is probably around that too. Maybe a little bit buffed up because of the level. And then also it should be about the same as that. All that should be the same. So yep, all the same. Patriotic Resolved is also like that. And he starts out like that. The Patriot. He starts out with these because of the blunderbuss. And yeah, again, I have the blunderbuss on her because it's like a weak version of a Jupiter rifle without having to have a Jupiter rifle. So I just made two of these because I could. So, and they're pretty neat little rifles. I mean, the procs on them are not bad. If I could use two Washingtons, I think I would probably do it because I would gear them both like that. Let's see. Going back to Jayon, he's all strength based again. Everything he has is strength, and it was kind of a test mark. I wanted to check out on if I went full strength with him, how would he turn out? I don't think Jayon is one of the buff mercs, so yeah, he's not buffed, so that might be the reason why it doesn't really do well with him at the moment, because his skills are all just what they say. They're not percentage based or anything like that. So it's just his attack power that is exponential is pretty damn high. So that's all that he's useful with. His skills are just what they say, or maybe a little bit bonus with the magic bonus level and all that. So yeah. But eventually, when they upgrade other mercs, I hope that they'll upgrade him. I hope they'll upgrade the Prophet a little, maybe, and Odysseus. High hopes for those ones, and then I think they'll, if they do upgrade, I would like them to also upgrade the Patriot, because I don't think the Patriot is, not that he really needs it. I mean, he's all right without any sort of upgrade, quote unquote, but it would be nice if he got something out of it. And then, yeah, Legion Merc. I think she is percentage based, so I'm not exactly sure what exactly she's gets her bonuses with, but yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's all just exactly what her skill says, but for the most part, it's these two guys, and then the main that get their attack power and stuff like that, and then the other ones are just there. She does a shit ton of damage with the gears that she has. I'm not even quite sure how she does so much damage, but she does it. So I just stick with her for damaging an Avalon and all that. So she ends up doing about, at the end, about anywhere from 100 mil to Merlin, and that's within about a 30 to 45 minute range. She goes from 100 mil to about 250 mil, depending on the day, depending on if I really have her geared up or not. Or not geared up, if I really have the bonuses or whatever, the attack bonus. Alright, so I'll end this video. I guess help out this guy.